I'm going to call this meeting to order. And this is the April 15th, 2020 regular business meeting number 1 in our annual organizational meeting for the Pasadena City College Community College District. And I'm going to start off with a point of order. Our agenda shows first that we're going to have a roll call, then we'll convene the annual organization meeting, etc. And our board clerk, Trustee Brown, pointed out that we probably should wait to take the roll call until we've sworn in 3 trustees that need to be sworn in, so that she's taking a roll call of sworn in trustees. I'm not an expert on Robert's Rules of Order, but I think she's right. And so I'm going to start off with a motion that we move item number 1, the roll call, to after item number 2 and before item number 3.
Second that motion.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Alex, are we going to do roll call votes on everything
I think
today?
you have to, Jim.
Yes, thank you, Tony. We're going to do roll call votes on everything. So Alex, are you going to conduct roll call votes tonight?
I'm prepared to do that. Yep.
Okay, Alex, go ahead and take a roll call. There's a motion on the floor to move agenda item 1 to after agenda item number 2.
Okay. Trustee Chen Lau.
Here.
That's going to be an aye or nay.
Aye.
Trustee Fellow.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Waugh.
Aye.
Trustee Osterling.
Aye.
Trustee Martin.
Aye.
There you go, Jim.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. So we're going to move on to agenda item number 2, and we're going to, I'm going to formally convene our annual organizational meeting. And without further ado, I'm going to move to the roll call. And Alex, I'm going to come back to you again. Our protocols that you handed out ahead of time was that the clerk was going to do the roll call.
Yes, that's correct, but I'm happy to do that here.
Okay, we'll have Trustee Brown conduct the roll call. Now, I'm sorry, my mistake. We first have to swear in the officers, my mistake. And then we conduct the roll call. So we are honored tonight to have State Senator Anthony Portantino, who has graciously agreed to swear in our new trustee, Tammy Silver, as well as swear in 2 returning trustees, James Osterling, myself, and John Martin. And Senator Portantino, I think the best way to do this, since we're all in different places, is to go one by one. And I thought we could start with our by swearing in our newest trustee, Tammy Silver.
Fantastic.
Oh, and Senator Portantino, before we start with the swearing in, we'd be happy to hear any comments that you might have about what's going on at the state right now, particularly as a result of the CV-19 pandemic and the current status of the state, order of the state on this.
Well, thank you, Trustee Osterling. I appreciate it. And I'm obviously honored to be conducting the ceremony, the honorary swearing in of a new trustee and the swearing in of 2 current trustees. That's always a thrill as somebody who's had to take the oath a few times. It's exciting. As you know, PCC is part of the soul of my 25th Senate District, with tens of thousands of constituents who either have family members there or have gone themselves. We're in the midst of this pandemic, which you all know. I think the governor's been doing an outstanding job sort of rolling out Executive Order as things progress. I think he's been very measured. I think he's been very serious. Yesterday, he conducted a press conference which outlined 6 criteria before we can go back and lift the social distancing guidelines that we have. If you live in the city of LA, obviously the mayor has also been very proactive there in instituting guidelines, and as have the county and the city of Pasadena. So we're all trying to make the best of it. I was the father of an 18-year-old high school senior trying to figure out her college destination next year. There's lots of families out there in the same boat. I've seen some major institutions recently talk about delaying the start of the fall classes. I know PCC and other community colleges haven't made that decision because California is not there yet. But I fully expect the community college situation, circumstance, and budget to be one of the top priorities moving forward. I spoke to my staff before the meeting, and we're going to start sending each trustee. We get a daily briefing from Cal OES. We're going to start sending you the daily briefing to all your emails. So if you could facilitate making sure we have all the emails and all of the personnel at PCC that you want to get the OES blast. It comes out about twice a day, and we'll forward to you every day. So then you have the information in real time that I have. And so facilitate getting my office a complete list of everybody in the PCC family that you want to get the daily briefing. We're happy to facilitate you getting that from Cal OES. From time to time, within those briefings, they hold webinars. Yesterday, the Secretary held a webinar on EDD and unemployment claims, and it was a very positive experience for folks who had a ton of questions. So we're trying as we can to get the information out and encouraging everybody to deal with this situation as prudently as possible. And you know, the real impact are all those students, faculty, and administrators that are trying to do the best they can. So thank you for your leadership, and thank you for running such a great institution in our district. So with that, I'm honored to present the oath of office to each of the newly elected trustees. I'm going to ask you to repeat each line as I do it. I'll do it slowly so you all have an opportunity to repeat it. And I want to congratulate Tammy Silver, John Martin, and Mr. Osterling on earning this wonderful honor to lead a great institution. By the way, my Italian friend, Mr. Fellow, there, say hi to your family as well. And Berlinda, you know, you're a rock star too. Everybody, you know, I love the PCC family. So Trustee-elect Silver, if you would like to transition to lose the title elect and become a full-fledged trustee, if you would raise your right arm and repeat after me. Obviously, you're going to substitute your name where it says I and then your name. So with honor and privilege, I will duly swear you in. So I state your name.
I, Tammy Silver,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. You are duly sworn in as a trustee of the great institution, Pasadena City College. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations. Would
Congratulations.
you like me to do Mr. Martin next?
Yeah, let's do our longest serving trustee next.
Is it 102 years, Mr. Martin?
Contract.
Yep, in dog years.
In dog years, that's funny. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. By the way, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And I state your name.
I, John Martin,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
You are duly and properly sworn in to Pasadena City College. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Senator Portantino.
All right, Mr. Osterling,
I'm ready.
you're ready. Congratulations to you as well. Raise your right hand and obviously substitute your name in the first sentence. I
I, James Osterling,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
You are duly and properly sworn in to be a trustee of Pasadena City College. Congratulations.
Senator Portantino, and thank you very much for it. It's a real honor to have our senators swear everybody in. Thank you very much.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, thank you. It gave me an opportunity to put a tie on and have a little bit of normalcy in a crazy situation. So
Yep.
great meeting and thank you for the honor. And I know you all do great things and we're here. I know Dominic was on the call. If you need anything, please let us know and just get us a list of the emails that you want to get the daily OES briefing.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much for offering that. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys have a great meeting.
Well,
Okay,
thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we are now moving on to agenda item number 4, election of board officers. And raise your hand if you have a nomination. And the president recognizes trustee Berlinda Brown.
Oh, thank you, President. I would like to nominate Mr. Jim Hosterland to continue his role as board president for a second term. The reason I'm doing that is because Jim has demonstrated great leadership in handling a lot of board matters, and what's really important to me is that he has an excellent relationship with our superintendent president. And during this time,
Awesome.
that's what we need. That is what we need. We don't need any changes right now. So I appreciate his leadership and that will be my nomination and I hope you will accept it.
Berlinda, thank you for the nomination. I'm honored, and I would serve if that's the will of all of the fellow trustees. We have a nomination on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? I'm sorry, we
Aye.
have to do a roll call. Pardon me.
Roll call.
Alex, are you going to conduct the roll call?
I'll be pleased to.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Silver.
Aye.
Just point of order, President Osterling, are we not including the student trustee vote?
I'm going to defer to Dr. Fellow. He's our Robert's Rules of Order. Does the student trustee vote on the election of officers?
I don't think so.
No,
I believe the answer is
Okay.
no. Our experts
Yeah.
have weighed in. So with that, the motion carries unanimously.
Mazel tov.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have served last year, and it'll be an honor to serve again.
John Martin.
I see John Martin.
Well-
We have nominations for vice president.
And I was trying to get my hand up to make a nomination.
Okay.
But first I'll say that, Jim, you did a sensational job last year. And I'm thrilled that you're gonna be our leader for another year. And I'm equally thrilled to nominate Trustee Berlinda Brown to the post of vice president.
Okay. We have a nomination on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, and roll call for a vote. Mr. Bucklehide, please.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Silver.
Aye.
7-0-0.
Okay. Motion carries unanimously, and our third and final spot is the board clerk. Do we have any nominations? Dr. Fellow, I see your hand up.
I'd like to nominate Linda Waugh.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, and I'll call for a roll call again. Mr. Bucklehide?
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Silver.
Aye.
7-0-0.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Bucklehide. Our next item on the agenda is certification. Thank you. Is certification of signatures. Superintendent Androgenis, how would you like to handle this item in a Zoom format?
Well, we can't. And so I think what we have to do, though, is note it for the record that that Alex Bucklehide and Mary Thompson and I will devise a system by which we can get wet signatures for all of you, because that is what's required by law. And I don't believe that any of the regular signatures have been waived or changed in any manner. So we will do that. If it, obviously if we were face to face, we would come around with a document, but we're not there. So we will figure it out.
Okay. I will what's the word? I will delegate that task to Superintendent Androgenis, and to given the circumstances to conduct the activities that way. Let me back up. Am I already off agenda items? Have we done a roll call now that everybody's sworn in?
We have not, although
we have not. My mistake. After the trustees were sworn in, I was supposed to conduct a roll call, and I will ask the board clerk, our new board clerk, actually, Linda Waugh, to actually, since we're doing this, we should have done this before the officers. We'll go with our old board clerk, Belinda Brown. Can you take a roll call, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So before I take the roll call, it says here, prior to roll call, I would like to make clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that this Board of Trustees meeting is conducted pursuant to California Government Code Section 54953, as amended by Governor Gavin Newsom in Executive Order N25-20, dated March 12, 2020, in that all trustees are at their residences and are all participating by remote video or teleconference. At this time, I will conduct a roll call. Trustee Chen Law. Trustee Sandra Chen Law, are you there?
Aye.
Trustee Silver,
Here.
Trustee Waugh,
Here.
Trustee Martin, Trustee Martin, Trustee Martin, Trustee Fellow,
Here.
Student Trustee Sarkisian.
Here. Aye.
Trustee Martin, are you there?
I think he's muted.
Here we go.
I
Now
think
I'm
he's muted.
here.
Okay.
Now I'm here.
So happy
I'm
to.
sorry, I hit my mute button and I had to get back to it.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. There are a few questions that I will now need to ask each of us, so please pay attention. I will begin with Trustee Chen Law. Can you hear me well? Trustee Chen
Yes.
Law, can you
Yes.
hear me well?
Yes,
Yes?
yes,
Were you able to hear our proceedings up until now?
yes,
Do you have a copy of the agenda for the meeting?
yes,
Okay, thank you. All these questions will be repeated to each trustee, so be attentive. Trustee Silver,
Yes.
can you hear me well?
Yes.
Were you able to hear our proceedings up until now?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the agenda of this
Yeah.
meeting?
Yes.
Trustee Waugh, same
Yeah.
question. Can you
Oh,
hear
okay.
me well?
Okay, I'm too anxious.
Were you able to hear our proceedings up until now?
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of the agenda of the meeting?
Yeah.
Trustee Martin, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Were you able to hear our proceedings until up to now?
Yes, I can.
Do you have a copy of the agenda?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Trustee Fellows,
Yes.
you can hear me, I guess. Were you able to hear our proceedings until now?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the agenda of the meeting?
Yes.
Trustee Sarkisian,
Yes.
can you hear me well?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the agenda for the meeting?
Yes.
Were you able to hear our proceedings until now?
Yes.
Okay, being that each of you have answered the questions, I'll proceed. I will now like to ask that any member of the Board of Trustees speak up at this time if they have not been able to hear clearly any trustee.
Trustee Brown, I've been able to hear everybody, but you need to ask those same questions of me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
No
Sorry,
problem.
Mr. President. Mr. President, I am just so sorry.
I didn't want to miss out on getting grilled by you, Belinda.
Can you hear me, Trustee Osterlin?
Yes, I can.
Do you have a copy of the agenda?
Yes, I do.
Were you able to hear our proceedings up until now?
Yes, I have been.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as I was saying, I would now like to ask that any member of the Board of Trustees speak up at this time if they have not been able to clearly hear any trustee. Hearing no comments, the record should reflect that all trustees present have indicated that they were able to hear all other trustees clearly. I will next request that any trustee speak up at this time if such trustee has any reason to believe, based on voice recognition or otherwise, that any person representing themselves to be certain to be a certain trustee is now truly so. If there's no comment, the record should reflect that no trustee has expressed doubt that any trustee or the parties participants by teleconference. And finally, I would like to advise the trustees and the public that any votes taken during this remote conference portion of this meeting must be taken by roll call.
Trustee Osterling, I have a point of order that when we did the elections, the trustees needed to elect me as the board secretary.
Oh my
as
gosh.
Superintendent president.
I'm just starting my new term and I'm in trouble with our superintendent already.
You know what? We are in uncharted territory, not to worry.
Yes, and I'm sure that all of the trustees are dying to take that position. So do I hear a nomination to re-elect our superintendent as the board secretary?
I move to re-elect Dr. Jonas as our board secretary.
I second it.
Second. It moved and seconded. All in favor, signal. Oh, roll call. Pardon me. Roll
Yep.
call. Mr. Bucklehite again.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Silver. You're muted, ma'am. That's 700, Jim.
You're on mute right now.
Okay.
Sorry, aye.
There we go. 700, Trustee Osterling.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you again, Mr. Bucklehite. Motion carries unanimously. I'm off to a rip-roaring start, and I'd like to blame all of this on Zoom meetings, but everybody that's watched me in regular meetings knows these are the same agenda I make every meeting. So let's see if we can, and I don't have the superintendent next to me to.
I know, poking you. I don't get to poke you.
Get me back on track. This is going to be a challenge. So let's see if I can get us back on agenda order here. Our next item is agenda item A6, and that's the setting day and time of regular meetings for 2020 to 2021 fiscal year and board retreats. And for this item, we do have a board calendar as an exhibit to this agenda item.
So Trustee Osterling, I would like to move that we accept this with the proviso that that we set a time for our retreats by our next meeting. I think in the past we've been setting our retreats sort of as we think about it, and it just seems like we never find a good date. I think it'd be easier if we could if we agree on 2 retreats through the year, and we could set that by the next meeting.
Okay, I think that's a good suggestion. I don't think we need a motion for that, but perhaps.
So noted.
Yeah, perhaps what we can do, Erica, if you could circulate a calendar poll or have Mary do that. And Trustee Wah, what approximate timing would you recommend for each of the two board retreats that you are want to put on the schedule?
So I think that it normally should coincide with the timing for our bylaws of when we set our board goals again annually, and the goals for our president. So I think at that time and all. So normally we do something around spring and we do something around winter. And to me, I'm really agnostic as to the time, but it does seem prudent to coincide at least with the timing of our setting of our board goals for any of those times, I guess, that are required by our bylaws.
Okay, and we'll have Superintendent Androgenis circulate a calendar poll for that.
Yes.
And that first meeting would end up being another Zoom meeting, I expect.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you, Erica.
I think, Berlinda, you had your hand up, right?
Thank you for
Trustee
recognizing me.
Brown, I missed you there, my apologies.
So I think I think the idea is good, but noticing that we have so many conference that our trustees and superintendent travel to, I will suggest that we check out the calendar of those conferences that will be attending or close, so we don't have any conflict, because once it's set, we need to go forward.
Right. And that's why the conferences are in the schedule. So we'll work around that.
Thank you, Erica.
Yes. So you still need to approve the calendar.
I think you need a second on it and then approval.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a
A motion. So I made the motion. Berlinda made the second.
And call for a roll call vote. Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
700.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries unanimously. And if there's no other business for our annual organizational meeting, seeing none, I'm going to adjourn our annual organizational meeting. And before we go into closed session, I will ask if we have any public comment on closed session agenda items. Former board clerk or any comments?
Alex would have that.
Mr. Bucklehide?
We have no such comment.
Okay, thank you. Okay, hearing none, we are going to recess to closed session. And in closed session, we're going to discuss Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiators. Agency designated representative is Robert S. Blazinski, Assistant Superintendent / Vice President of Human Resources. Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Appointment, Executive Director Business Services, Director Technical Services, Ground Supervisors, Facilities and Construction Services, and lastly, Government Code Section 54957, Evaluation of Employee, Superintendent President. And without further ado, we're going to recess to close session. And just some logistics here. We will reconvene at approximately 7 o'clock p.m. And we'll be on the same Zoom meeting that we are all on right now. As we recess to close session, the trustees received a different calendar item for the closed session meeting. So we should close down our Zoom meeting that we're in right now and go ahead and get on the closed session Zoom meeting. And once everybody reconvenes there, I'll call that closed session to order. Thank you, everybody. And again, for the rest of the public, we'll reconvene at approximately 7 p.m. on this same Zoom feed. Thank you again. Everybody's ready. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Okay, we are reconvening the regular business meeting number 1 for the Pasadena Area Community College District, April 15th, 2020. And there was no action made in closed session. And we are again going to go to a roll call. And Mr. Bucklehide, question for you. Do we need to repeat all of the formalities that we did at the beginning of the original open session, or just do a regular roll call?
I think it might behoove you to just make a general statement to make sure that we have on the record that all trustees make it back. So you might want to just do a quick, confirmation that everybody can hear.
Quick introduction, and then Mr. Bucklehide will have you do a regular roll call.
Certainly.
Prior to the roll call, I would like to make it clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that this Board of Trustees meetings is conducted pursuant to California Government Code Section 54953, as amended by Governor Gavin Newsom in Executive Order N-25-20, dated March 12, 2020, in that all trustees are at their residences and all are participating by remote video or teleconference. Mr. Bucklehide, if you could now conduct the roll call.
Dr. Fellow.
Here.
Mr. Osterling.
Here.
Ms. Waugh.
Here.
Ms. Silver.
Here.
Mr. Martin.
Here.
Ms. Brown. You're muted, ma'am.
Linda, you're on mute.
Here.
There we go. Ms. Chen Lau.
Here.
Student Trustee Sarkeesian.
Here.
8.
Okay, we are off and running. Next, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and to do the honors, we are going to have our newest trustee, Tammy Silver, lead us in the pledge. And Zoom pledges are always an interesting adventure. So Tammy, good luck with this one.
I have
Do
a
we
flag if
stand
anyone
up?
needs one.
Yes, we
Yeah.
stand.
And
Oh,
just-
Alex has the flag. You stand up? Okay. All right. Right? Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
To the flag
flag
of
of the
the
United States of
States of
America
America
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
for which it
and
stands, one
one
nation,
nation
under God, with liberty and
indivisible,
justice for
with
all.
liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Silver, for doing that in small pieces.
Thank you.
Works better that way. Okay. And for those of us that did not attend or watch the open session meeting that started at 6 o'clock, we started out by swearing in our newest trustee, Tammy Silver, and I want to welcome her to the board. We also swore in re-elected officials, myself and Trustee Martin. But I also wanted to comment that Trustee Silver has hit the ground running and is going up the steep new trustee learning curve that I had to do about 4 years ago myself, and has already been participating in the CCLC, the league events, webinars that Trustee Waugh and the league have been conducting as we all grapple with this pandemic. So Tammy, welcome to the board, and thank you for hitting the ground running, and thank you for leading us in the pledge. We are now going to move on to agenda item number 5, which is approval reordering of agenda items. Do we have any requests to reorder agenda items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Oh, we got to do the roll call. Alex, you're going to be busy tonight. Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Student Trustee Sarkeesian,
Aye.
Dr. Fellow.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bucklehide. Motion.
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
apologies.
Trustee Martin. Thank you. Okay, motion carries unanimously. Sorry about that, John. Okay, we're moving on to agenda item number 6, introductions and recognitions. Superintendent Androgenis, any?
So yes, actually, I have one out there in YouTube land. I am teaching a class at Cal State LA in the doctoral program in higher education, and the class is law and policy. So all of my students are out there watching our meeting on YouTube. In anticipation of next week, we'll be talking about the Brown Act. And so this is their opportunity to see a board meeting done properly with the new and improved Brown Act or emergency order. And so I'm bummed that they didn't get to see you in person, but I'm so happy that they're getting to see an example of a Brown Act meeting, and we'll have some really great conversation next Wednesday night during class. So welcome to my class from Cal State LA. Thanks so much.
Welcome, Cal State LA students, and I hope that your teacher didn't give you as part of the assignment to count all the mistakes that the president makes getting through the agenda.
Oh, what a great idea.
All right, here we go. Our next item is public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Normally our clerk handles this, but Mr. Bucklehide might be handling this today.
We have none.
Okay, no public comments. Moving on to agenda item number 8. This is to approve the minutes for our last meeting, which was regular business meeting number 11, March 18th, 2020. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Bucklehide, please call for a vote. And Tammy, you can abstain on this.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Yeah.
Ms. Silver,
No.
Abstain?
abstain. Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye. And
Student Trustee
Sarkeesian.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously with 1 abstention. And we're moving on to agenda item number 9, board committees reporting out. Do we have any board subcommittees that braved a Zoom meeting?
I don't believe so.
Okay, we'll move on to, we're now moving on to item D, the combined consent calendar. And just as a reminder, we have a somewhat new protocol where we're going to approve all of the consent calendar items in bulk, except of course for personnel. And for items E1 through G11, all trustees vote, including the student trustee. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Consent calendar items E1 to G11.
Move to approve.
A second.
Second, moved and seconded. Thank you, Trustee Silver. Moved and seconded. Mr. Bucklehide, please conduct a roll call vote.
advisory vote from the student trustee.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Oh, sorry. I just have a question. Is this the consent calendar E1 to G11? Is that also approving the piggybackable contracts?
No, those are in the main agenda, items
Okay.
11 and 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So aye, yes.
pardon me. Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
I'm sorry, I have to stop. Trustee Chen Lao, no, the piggybackable is G7. So are you requesting that that be pulled for discussion?
Yes.
Okay, so noted. So can you restate the motion?
Okay, so first we need a motion to pull item G7 from the consent calendar for discussion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. So what we're going to do is thank you, Trustee Chen Lao. And sorry for the incorrect answer to your question. So we're now going to move to we need a motion to approve the consent calendar items E1 to G11, except for G7, which we'll discuss separately.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. And let's restart the roll call vote. Mr. Bucklehide.
Student Trustee Sarkeesian, advisory vote.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh.
Aye.
Okay.
7-0 with advisory yes.
Motion carries unanimously, and we pulled item G7 out of the consent calendar. Trustee Chen Lao, do you have any questions or comments on items G7?
Yes, one of the things that I wanted to at least have the public understand or get more information from is, as the board is being asked to approve the contracts for the bargaining units, and also part of the contract includes the cost of living adjustments, and included in the
Yeah.
cost of living adjustment would also include our management association as well as.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I'm sorry. Trustee Chen Lao,
Superintendent Androgianis, go ahead.
I think you were referring to the Me Too
Yes.
contracts. Okay,
Yes.
that's not a piggyback. There is
Okay.
something called a piggybackable contract
Okay.
that is
Okay.
G7, and that
Okay.
has to do with our buying capacity.
Oh, then I don't need to talk
backing
about
onto
that.
state
Okay.
contracts.
Yes.
Trustee
So-
Chen Lao, the contracts that you're referring to are items 11 and 12
Yes.
in the action
Yeah.
items required
Okay.
approval.
Use language that belongs in the business section.
Okay. All right.
That's-
Thank
So,
you.
Yes,
Trustee
you're talking
Chen
about
Lao,
the Me Too.
do I hear a motion on item G7?
Yes, I motion that we approve.
Second.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Bucklehide, please.
Student Trustee Sarkeesian, advisory vote.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh.
Aye.
Advisory aye and 7 yeses.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Bucklehide. And we are now going to move on.
H. Do you see it, Trustee Osterling?
He
H?
seems to have frozen.
Okay. Come back to us.
And
There he is.
do I hear a motion?
For what?
For personnel H.
Consent calendar H2 to H8.
Motion
Move to
to-
approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call. Mr. Bucklehide, please.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Waugh.
Aye.
7-0.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. And now we're moving into section I, which is action items recommended for approval by the board. We're going to start off with item number 1, which is nominations for California Community College Trustees, CCCT Board. Trustee Waugh, any comments on this item?
Yeah, so I do have recommendations to make to you, and you can accept all or none and make your own motions if you choose. So we have, I think, 6 trustees who are incumbents who are running for their positions again. Steck, Haynes, Perez, Kennedy, Hoffman, and Gray. I highly recommend that we approve all of the incumbents for their reelection. They have all been good trustees. They've all demonstrated strong leadership and been very active within the CCCT board on behalf of the trustees. We have 3 trustees who are turned out. Unfortunately, all of them are Latino trustees, trustees Casas, Moreno, and Castellanos. So some of the demographics that you guys always ask me for is what is the makeup of the 21 members? So now with the 3 trustees turning out, we have 18 members. So 10 are women, 8 are men, 2 Asian Americans, 1 female, 1 male, 3 female Latinas, 2 African Americans, 1 male, 1 female, 1 veteran male, and no LGBTQ. So this is based on the caucuses that we formed. We also look at how many come from Northern California versus Southern California. We're pretty evenly split, Northern California, Southern California. And we also look at urban and rural. So we have about 16 urban to rural. So we have 6 candidates who are running for 3 open positions and being vacated by the turned out trustees. This is kind of an unusual candidate group. It's the first time we've seen so many first-year trustees who have put their name in, but I want to talk a little bit about them because I think it's something worth considering. So we have Trustee Chan, who is running from Ohlone. She's API, she's first year. She's been a very strong trustee, even as a first-year trustee. So immediately upon coming in as a trustee, she immediately became active, even with the league, with the caucuses. And for those of you who have gone on to the trustee webinar, she is one of the trustees who has volunteered to do the best practices list on the virtual meetings in the Brown Act, and she's been very active. Prior to becoming a trustee, though, she was a city council member. She was very active in her community. She's also an educator and just shown really strong leadership. So I highly recommend her. Trustee, so that would be my first recommendation to you. Trustee Snell, Barry Snell, is a 10-year trustee who comes from Santa Monica College, African-American male. He also has been very strong in attending all of the state CCLC conferences. But more than that, he's been very active and very participative in his own district in terms of leadership. He led the bond initiative for Santa Monica. He's very highly supported by his fellow trustees. They consider him to be extremely collegial, one of the best trustees to kind of unify everyone and bring everyone to consensus. So their recommendations to me have been very highly in favor of Trustee Snell. So that would be my second recommendation to you. The third trustee is also a first-year trustee, Trustee Cindy Reese. She is API. She comes from Peralta District, so Northern District. But she is also the only trustee who sits on the ACCJC on behalf of the trustees. She is also part of the academic senate in her West Valley College and has been very active. She teaches civic engagement on her campus. She's been very active in governance in her own district leadership and has participated in a number of committees on the state, even being a first-year trustee. So those are my 3 recommendations. I think Trustee Calhoun is from Compton, also African-American, a very strong trustee, but she is a first-year trustee and hadn't really gotten involved yet in many of the state issues, although she's very anxious to. Trustee Pendergast has run 3 times. He comes from the South Orange County District. He's a 10-year trustee, very strong leadership in his own district, but he has not really had much of a chance or much time really to participate in any of the state issues. Trustee Dunseith is a 15-year trustee, also an educator from North Orange. She's also very strong. But one of the things I think that's really important is the Chancellor's Office has a number of initiatives that they come up with. Among those have been diversity. The 3 trustees that I am recommending to you for the open seats have been participative. in the equity and diversity issues of the Chancellor's office. I think Trustee Dempsey has been very participative in a lot of the professional development for trustees, but I don't think she's had a chance to be, or she's not been involved in any of the Chancellor's major initiatives. So those are my recommendations to you. So all the incumbents, and then trustees Chan, Snell, and Reese for the open seats.
I'll make a motion to approve Ms. Wah's recommendations.
And I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, moved and seconded, and roll call vote. Mr. Bucklehide, please.
Advisory vote from student trustee Sarkeesian.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah.
Aye,
700.
great. Thank you, trustees.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bucklehide, and thank you, Trustee Waugh, for all that you do for us at the state level. It helps us to, when we have these elections, to have your insights for the election. So thank you for that. We are now going to move on to item number 2, which is approval of modifications, additions, and deletions to the credit and non-credit curriculum. Do we have any commentary on this, Superintendent Androgenis?
Nothing in particular, unless
Okay.
if you have questions, I could have Terry Juni answer them, but they're all pretty straightforward.
Move to
Motion
approve.
Approve. Second.
Sorry, Tony.
Okay.
I can't see you. So raise your hand and I won't make a motion next time.
So did we make a motion?
Yeah, I made a motion and Tony seconded.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Mr. Bucklehide, roll call, please.
Student trustee Sarkeesian, advisory vote.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah.
Aye,
700.
Okay, we are going to move on to resolution number 642. This is in recognition of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month.
move to approve.
Second.
Can I step in for a second? Could you please move
Yes.
to approve with a correction to
Yes,
that it should read May at the bottom of the resolution?
Yeah.
Under the therefore be it resolved.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I move with that modification.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded with the modification. Roll call vote, please, Mr. Bucklehide.
Student trustee Sarkeesian, advisory vote.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
May I say something? So in recognition of the Asian American Heritage Month, I also would like to just acknowledge that the crimes against Asian Americans during this pandemic has increased by 6-fold, according to the FBI. As we recognize Asian Americans in May, we also need to really think about the type of discrimination against Chinese Americans and Asian Americans in particular during this time. This is not a Chinese virus, but this is a COVID-19 virus. And we know that in communities where there are high concentration of Asian Americans, there has been incidences of violence against Asian American families, and also in particular against Asian American women. So as we recognize Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, I want to acknowledge the challenges of discrimination that the community is currently facing right now. Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah.
Aye.
700.
Okay.
So President Osterling, I do have my hand raised, so I do want to make a comment.
Yeah, please.
So I do want to thank Dr. Androgenis for forwarding this resolution and for always keeping an eye out on things that during her tenure, she's really watched for these issues that are important to our community. I also want to echo trustee Chen Lau's concern about the hate crimes. And for those of you who have attended the trustee webinars, you might, so you'll know that this has been brought up. It was brought up under our equity discussion last week. We are forwarding the joint caucuses have, their leadership has agreed to forward a resolution of support against the hate crimes that have been against Asian Americans because of this crisis. So that will be on the agenda for tomorrow's webinar for the trustees. I hope that to bring this back to our own board for adoption in the next meeting.
Yes.
And in addition, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, trustee Wah, that was my plan, was as soon as the trustees had approved that and accepted all the language, that we would put it on the May 20th board agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Anjanis. Thank you for always keeping an eye out for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and before we move on to item number 4, resolution 643, my apologies to both trustee Chen Lao and trustee Wah. We do motions of approve and second. I should allow discussion before the roll call vote, and I failed to do that. And I'll get this Zoom format down. So my apologies. And just feel free to raise your hand and butt in on me if I forget to do that again.
No worries, trustee Austin. We'll
Okay.
keep you.
Keep you honest.
That's right.
We're going to move on to resolution number 643 in recognition of California Community College Month.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just so you know, this resolution came about a year ago, and the idea was because we wanted to, the chancellor's office and the state had really felt like it was important for each board to recognize the importance of the people we serve and the institutions that we run. So we're very proud to have this on our agenda again.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Anjanis. On to item number 5. This is.
I don't think we voted,
You
Jim.
have to take a vote.
Oh, pardon me. Thank you. Thank you, Superintendent Anjanis. Okay, moved and seconded, and roll call vote, please, Mr. Bucklehide. Thank you.
Student trustee Sarkeesian, our advisory vote.
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling, trustee Osterling,
You stuck.
This is so.
is frozen again.
That's an aye.
Thank you. Ms. Watt,
Sorry.
Aye.
7-0-0.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. We're moving on to agenda item number 5, resolution number 644. This is in recognition of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Last year, we were fortunate enough to actually have our board meeting. Somebody help me out here. What's the date for the Blue Jean Day that it started in France?
Italy.
Sorry, in Italy.
Yeah.
Yes.
In any event, I'm glad to see that we're recognizing it this year with a resolution. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
I move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, Mr. Bucklehide, please.
Student trustee Sarkeesian,
Aye.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
This is so.
Mr. Osterling,
Jim.
You better learn sign language.
Frozen again.
Sorry.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Watt,
My apologies. I'm up in the foothills with weak internet. I'm going to have to do something different for our next meeting.
Yeah, I think you need an extender.
Yeah.
So Jim, next, if you're having trouble with your audio, disconnect your audio from your Zoom and use your phone on the audio.
You know what? I'm going to do that, and I'm going to dial in. Thank you.
Would you like a minute or do you want to keep going?
Oh, let's keep going. And my cell signal isn't much better up here, by the way.
You know, it's
Okay, so we are going to move on to agenda item number 6. Approve the memorandum of understanding between PACCD and the Pasadena City College Faculty Association, the FA.
I move approval.
second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Again, Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin, Mr. Martin,
John.
I had it on mute. Sorry. Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
7-0-0 with no advisory vote.
Okay. We are moving on to agenda item number 7, and this is to approve the memorandum of understanding between PACCD and the Pasadena City College Faculty Association. Do I hear a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please. Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
7-0-0 with no advisory vote on this issue.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. Moving on to agenda item number 8. Approve the memorandum of understanding between PACCD and the California School Employees Association, the CSEA, Chapter 777. Do I hear a motion?
I
Mo-
move approval.
Second, whatever.
Moved and seconded. Thank you. Roll call vote, Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
7-0-0 with no advisory vote on that issue.
Okay. Agenda item number 9, approve the memorandum of understanding between PACCD and confidentials. Do I hear a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please. Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
7-0-0 with no advisory vote on this issue.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries unanimously. Item number 11, approve a salary increase equivalent to 3%
Number,
unrepresented employees in the executive branch for fiscal year 2019-2020. Do I hear a motion?
what about number 10?
Did I miss number 10? Thank you, Tammy. My apologies. Agenda item number 10, approve the memorandum of understanding between PACCD and the Pasadena City College Management Association. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
There you go. And second.
Moved and seconded. Thank you, Tammy. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah,
Aye.
7-0-0 with no student vote on the issue.
Motion carries unanimously. Now we move to item number 11. Approve a salary increase equivalent to 3% for unrepresented employees in the executive branch for fiscal year 2019 to 2020.
Move
Do I hear
approval.
a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Jim, are you frozen?
He needs to let it go.
Back, I think.
That was good. That was good, Sandra.
Okay, moved, seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, yes. So this is-
Trustee Chen Lao.
Yes, so this is where we wanted to have a at least some clarification for the public that may be watching this, that we as a board are approving a salary increase equivalent to 3%. And what the salary increase is actually a cost of living adjustment, and it's which is currently 3.24%, but we are approving a 3% adjustment. And so I just would like to have the president or Vice President Mike Bush talk about, given the financial situation all around us, why now this 3%, and what is the justification?
Okay,
Dr. Bush?
Yes. Thank you. The reason for the increase right now, it's matching what all the other bargaining units and groups are receiving for the cost of living. It is currently within the existing budget, and there is definitely hard times coming, but it's currently within the budget, and we're anticipating next year to have a workload budget, which would be the same as this year.
And I just want to offer that we are what's known as a Me Too district, and we have 4 bargaining units who all successfully completed bargaining, and the agreement was 3% cost of living adjustments, which is then passed on to all of the unrepresented groups in the district.
I would like to certainly commend the administration for committing to this agreement with all the units on campus. I mean, even though these are really tough times, the fact that PCC can still hold up our end of the bargain to our units, because we are in a stable financial situation for now, is something that is commendable. And I hope that as we continue to work together through these challenging times, that we will continue to revisit our finances and to make sure that we can align that with the current situation. But thank you to certainly Mike Bush and also Superintendent Androdonis for being very cognizant of where we are today financially.
Well, and also Bob Blazinski and his negotiation skills too.
Yes, yes,
Take the village.
yes, thank you.
okay. Any further discussion? We've already had a motion and a second on this, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
roll call vote, please, Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fellow,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
I
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah.
Aye.
7-0-0 with no student trustee vote on this issue.
Okay, motion carries unanimously. And item number 12, approve a salary increase equivalent to 3% for the superintendent president for fiscal year 2019 to 2020. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Oh, excuse me.
Any discussion? Trustee Sarkisian.
I just wanted to ask from a student perspective, just for clarification on this, because I'm sure students would be curious as to this raise. I know we got a great explanation for the last one, so I just wanted to ask for clarification for this agenda item as well.
For the 3% for me?
Yes.
It's similar. The history of Pasadena City College is that when bargaining units are accorded a cost of living adjustment, the superintendent president is as well. And so it's just following.
The same rules as the last.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you for that question, Alex. And yes, it is the same approach and logic as for the unrepresented, the executive team. Okay, we are completed that, and we're going to move on to.
You need to have the vote. Trustee Sterling, you didn't do the vote.
Oh, thank you, Erica. Roll call vote, please. Mr. Bucklehide.
Dr. Fella,
Aye.
Ms. Chen Lao,
Aye.
Ms. Brown,
Aye.
Ms. Silver,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Osterling,
Aye.
Ms. Wah.
Aye.
7-0-0 with no student trustee vote on this issue.
Okay, motion carries unanimously, and now we move on to information items. And one agenda item here, and that's Superintendent President's Report.
Okay.
Dr. Adonis.
Great. Well, thank you. Well, hard to believe that we're happening, but we are. I want to commend everyone for kind of taking this whole meeting in stride. I want to thank Alex and his staff for making sure that we could do this, both from the perspective of being able to go through the agenda and all be here, as well as being able to have it on our YouTube channel simultaneously. I've talked to some of my colleagues at other colleges, and because we always have done our YouTube meetings, we just had to add this extra component. So it was a lot easier, I think, for us to move in this direction. So thank you to Alex and the strategic communications folks. From a coronavirus update, just want to say that recently, based on all of the information around us, we are going to finish out our spring semester remotely. Our campus remains closed to all non-essential personnel, but I will say that some very essential people on our campus have been our amazing custodial staff and maintenance and operations staff. They are doing a top to bottom sanitizing and cleaning of the campus, doing great work. We've got some projects going on, replacing some floors and other things that we can do during this time while classes are not in session. And we're also very fortunate to have all of our our campus police, as well as our cadets out there. Mike Bush and Bob Blazinski and I are on campus many days. And so we see all the work going on, and it's just, I just appreciate how great the campus looks, and really all the stuff that's happening, all the folks who are working remotely, figuring out, all these Zoom meetings, and there are many, instruction, if there are technical challenges, those technical challenges are getting addressed. And I mean, I could go on and on, let me tell you, it's amazing. As you can imagine, we have postponed our commencement ceremony, which would be on June 12th. What we're thinking about right now is having a commencement next June, the day after our 2021 commencement, we'll have a 2020, or we're not sure what the configuration is going to be. I know some colleges are doing virtual commencements, but, in thinking about it, when you think about how exciting it is for family members to see their family members, friends walk across the stage, all the cheering and all of that, it's just not the same from a virtual perspective. So we're going to do it. We're just not going to be able to do it in June. Right now, I get asked all the time, what are you doing for summer? What are you doing for fall? Right now, we are planning our summer term, and we are putting a lot online, but we are also scheduling some face-to-face classes, and we'll just have to see what happens over the next 6 or 8 weeks to see if we can actually do that. Our summer term doesn't start until June 20th. So we have a lot can happen between now and then. And so there are two issues there. Number one, we do have some face-to-face classes that we're offering. Well, we have classes that we normally offer face-to-face right now that really need the lab component to it. So one thing we're looking at is when it comes to spring, what are those classes like automotive, like welding, like those kinds of things where the students are getting all the theory part online or remotely. But, the example I like to use is I don't think any of us want a student who has only seen somebody change your brake pad fixing their brakes. You actually want students who have changed some brakes. So we're trying to figure out how do we get that experience for our students who are currently in the classes, and then what can we possibly do for summer? And so we have to make sure we have time for that. We also, just in light of Mayor Garcetti's conversation yesterday, as well as Gavin Newsom's press conference, really looking at what are the criteria for having face-to-face classes in the summer. Can we create social distancing? Dr. Bush and I were talking a little bit about that yesterday. When you think about it, is there a way to, if we do have face-to-face classes, is there a way to stagger when students enter and exit classrooms so that the hallways aren't crowded? It's taking all those things into account. Fall, we have no idea. I know a lot of institutions out there are, planning for fall to potentially be online. We're just going to stay tuned and see what the information yields. And as you've already heard, we're watching the budget picture in Sacramento very closely. There will be a May revise. There will be a budget passed by the constitutional requirement of June 15th, but then we've already been told that there will be an August revision of some sort. So new information is coming to us. What we believe, because we've been told, is that we'll have a workload budget, which is basically a flat budget, but Dr. Bush will definitely update us after the May revise. Governor Newsom has sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi asking for $1 trillion for higher ed in a future bill. At this point, we just have to put all ideas and requests on the table. In terms of CARES Act funding, so the amount that's coming to Pasadena City College is a total of $15.2 million, and that is split evenly in half. So $7.6 million will go directly to students, and $7.6 million will go to the college to help with our expenses. We are currently working on a plan of how to distribute the money to our students. This would be in the form of cash. I mean, this is funding specifically to them. We are going to, we're not going to allocate out the entire $7.6 million because we do believe that we will have some disruptions in our academic schedule in possibly summer, probably fall, if not at the beginning, then at some point. And we need to have some money in reserve to help students when that happens as well. But we're looking at, how many students are qualified. 80% of our students are qualified and receive the what used to be known as the Board of Governors grant, also now known as the College Success Grant. So we're looking at those students as well as people who are Pell recipients, and trying to make sure we hit as many students as possible in that. Overall, the California Community College System is getting $300 million of CARES Act funding, so it's not small. I would like to highlight 3 consent items tonight. We're looking at those students as well. I'm sorry, pardon me?
No.
Continue on, Erica.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought there was a question there. 3 consent items this evening. You voted on and approved the bid process for the Serafian building because we finally have it approved from the state. Yay, the Department of State Architect finally released our building, approved it. It's very exciting. The Chancellor's office will take a look at it while we're going through the bid process. And as you know, we're working on a 2-step process. We're going to demolish and do site prep in one bid contract and then building construction in the other contract. But our goal is to have a contract in place by the end of June so we can start demolition in July and get some stuff going here. That's very exciting. There also was an agreement with Azusa Pacific University to offer what we're calling a concurrent enrollment in nursing. And basically a student who does 5 semesters at Pasadena City College and Azusa Pacific will graduate with a BSN degree. So it is a way to get students both the ADN so they can do practice immediately, as well as the BSN. And we're really excited about this opportunity. And our students were really interested in the partnership. And so we're so excited to get that started in the fall. And we have some other information around nursing happening in the fall as well, but we'll get to that in another meeting. Also, and I'm sure Dr. Hennis will point this out too, 49 faculty received tenure this evening on the board agenda. So that's fabulous. Those are 49 folks that were hired 4 years ago, and they've done the process of going through evaluations and doing a great job, and now they're ours. So I'm sure you've heard a lot about nursing in general, and I'm very happy to say that we have PCC nursing students on duty at Huntington Hospital. They were invited back by the hospital, and it's really great because it's really important for our students, especially those graduating students, to finish their clinical hours. The BRN, the Board of Registered Nurses, reluctantly, I'd like to say, was willing to make some alterations for how much patient care versus simulation care students had to do in order to graduate. But thankfully, Huntington Hospital reached out to us and said, we want your nursing students. We want them to help out, and they're there. They're helping nurse managers and in all areas of the hospital, and the students also volunteered to staff and entrance screenings over Easter weekend. And then also in the health area, our radiological tech students achieved a 95.2 pass rate on their certification exam. So that's pretty high for the first-time test takers. Also, interesting, we have 17 current and former Pasadena City College football players who are transferring to 4-year universities in the fall. They're going to NCAA D1, D2, D3 schools, as well as to the NIAA. And some of them are going as far east as Kentucky Christian University, and one is actually going in my backyard to Cal Lutheran. And we definitely credit the academic athletic zone for helping students really, our athletes achieve so at such a high level that we've got that number of students graduating and transferring. And in terms of athletics, as you all know, I'm the vice chair of the 3C2A board. Our executive committee is meeting tomorrow, and we have a board meeting on Friday. Part of what we'll be talking about is what do we do about seasons going forward. Obviously, spring has been completely canceled, and we're working on eligibility criteria so that our student athletes are not harmed by the fact that they maybe only got to play 1 game or 2 games. They're not going to lose their eligibility for this season. We've been working with our 4-year transfers, the NCAA, to ensure that that is possible, and we have to do it on a sport-by-sport basis. But we're working on it because our student athletes are a really important part of our student population. So with that, I just want to end by saying I cannot thank the Pasadena City College faculty, staff, and students enough for how amazing they have been through this very difficult time. You know, I can't tell you the number of people who have identified an issue and then also identify what a possible solution is. And that is really key to having our institution go forward. And I really, my motto of Semper Gumby, always flexible. So with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Trustee Osterling.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent Androgenis. Quick follow-up question. There was a question or issue in particular about the nursing students and trying to get them to be able to go out on the front lines to fight the virus, and but at the same time not having completed their practicums. Can you give everybody just a brief update on where that stands?
Well, it's basically Huntington Hospital is the clinical setting that we have who has invited our nurses back. Other hospitals, understandably, are short on PPE, and they do not feel that they're in a position to host our students, but Huntington Hospital has invited them back. And what the nursing director did was reach out to all of the nursing students, and there actually is a grid that shows exactly what first, second, third, and fourth semester students would be allowed to do in a clinical setting based on what they've learned so far in theory and in their classes. And so students were able to apply to go back to the hospital and to finish out their clinical objectives. They are signing a statement that they're doing so of their own accord, that we're not forcing anybody to go into a clinical setting, because for as many students were reaching out and saying, please, 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 let us go back to clinical. We had family members of students reaching out and saying, please don't make my child go back to clinical. So right now we've been able to kind of find the sweet spot between those two things. Does that answer your question?
Seems to have frozen again.
Okay, I think I answered it.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Was that an answer? Was that
yes,
okay?
Yes, thank you. We're going to move on to shared governance, and
Uh-oh. We need to get him a hotspot.
It's an echo thing.
Yeah. Trustee Osterling?
am I back? There we go. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to get a different connection here. I'm up in the foothills. I'll figure that out before the next meeting. Shared governance. I saw Desiree. Pardon me.
Dion.
Dion, thank you. I saw Dion out there, and the rest of our shared governance might have to help out and chime in. But let's start off with Associated Students President Dion Shelton.
Hello, everyone. So since the last meeting, I attended the General Assembly, which is the conference where the SSCCC passes resolutions for their work to do with the community colleges and the chancellor's office, as well as electing the new board. that was interesting to do. I've also been in communication with other associate student presidents at different community colleges. In the next couple of weeks, we are going to be collaborating with Glendale Community College to do an online campaign to just bring about the awareness of elections and things going on with AS, just to keep students to be involved. We have been, since the, I would say since the transition to remote learning, AS has also been putting out digestible communication with our students in small infographics. So basically we break down all of the emails that Alex Buckelhigh sends to the students in a more student-friendly way. That's been giving us a lot of good feedback. We currently have a COVID-19 survey going out that was put out by Urani Reyes, our Vice President of Academic Affairs. We've gotten a lot of feedback from that survey. So once we actually analyze the data, we are going to try to figure out a way to further assist the students as much as we can from the associated students. We also, our task groups, I think Alex mentioned at the last meeting, are working heavily to put out online content for the students, for them to get involved. I think at the end of the month, we will be doing a virtual movie night where we're going to host either a Facebook watch party or a Zoom, where we're going to be showing a movie and students can come in and still get the student life that they're used to on campus. Like I said before, we're working on putting out student morale content. We are also going to be doing an AS town hall to address student concerns regarding excused withdrawals, the pass, no pass option, and just any other questions students might have. The first one we're going to have, I think, also at the end of the month. And we have invited some counselors and some academic and personal counselors. And as far as all the work goes, that's about it. And I just want to also extend my appreciation from myself and the executive board and all the students at PCC, just for all the hard work that you all are doing and still continuing to serve our students, and to still being able to make sure that our students get the resources that they deserve. And I just want to just always say thank you. And I know this time is difficult for everyone, but it is great that you all still, keep the student success in mind. Thank you so much.
Jim, you're muted.
The phone. I'm on the
There
phone.
you go. Oh,
there we
okay.
go. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm joining by phone now for audio. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
We can.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm looking down and seeing who else is here, and I see Tito Altamirano, Management Association. I think I'm out of order here, but Tito, take it away, please.
Will do. Thank you. I'll make today's short. I'd like to start off by thanking Don Ekman for 35 years and David Van Pelt for their service to the college. Again, we greatly appreciate their contributions to our college generally and facilities specifically. Second, I'd like to welcome Robert Jurado, our Director of Technical Services for ITS, and Dave Thompson, Ground Supervisor Facilities, to the PCC family. And lastly, I just want to say a big thank you to all our managers for their commitment. In the midst of this madness, many from their homes and some in essential ways at the physical campus, managers have led every area of the college in ways that best support the mission of PCC. Students, staff, and faculty are being provided with a number of resources needed to get us through this crisis. So to them, I just want to say thank you for their ongoing service to the college. Thank you. That is all.
And I want to add, there's also another Executive Director of Business Services, Darlene Inda.
Indeed. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Erica. And thank you, Tito. And I see Rochelle out there. Are you representing for classified today? Rochelle?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Are you
You have
reporting
a
for classified
bad
today?
connection. There
Can
we
you hear
go.
me now?
Yes.
There's a lot of feedback.
There's nothing on here. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'll jump right into it. Classified centers got some nomination forms floating out on the campus in a digital fashion for classified employee of the year. Our goal is to submit to the board a nomination in May. So that's our goal we're going for. We had to cancel a couple of events, classified days, classified spring journal meeting has been postponed. And then the only other thing we have is just a shout out to all of the staff that's working on campus, police and safety, facilities, and the rest of the classified employees that's keeping the.
Thank you, Rochelle. And next we have Dr. Matt Hennis for Faculty Senate.
Hi, was Rochelle done?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I missed it. Hi. Well, let's see. First on our slate, Senate officer elections were postponed to next spring. For whatever reasons, but so it looks like the current executive committee is going to continue on next year. And at each academic senate meeting now, I'm inviting folks from instruction and student services to share about what's going on in their areas and to allow for direct communication between those administrators and the faculty. The accreditation self-study is coming along. We're looking at each standard to ensure that it's accurate and addresses the standards. The Guided Pathways Working Group has been meeting regularly to discuss and plan for how best to support our students. The Curriculum and Instruction Committee has been meeting. I know you got some curriculum today, but they're also working to make sense of the changing landscape of requirements in this environment. And we may have new information as of this week as to what we can expect for our end of it for summer and fall. The Academic Senate Executive Committee and I have been meeting with Dr. Juni and folks from professional development and distance education to determine how best to meet faculty needs and service to our students. And as Erica mentioned, 49 faculty were granted tenure. I'm not going to read the list of names because that would be ridiculous, but I do want to highlight one name, John Hanley, who has been approved as the C&I co-chair. To offer some support and relief to Sharon Bober, who has been carrying that load alone since Tammy Silva's resignation in November. And then finally, we're also starting to welcome new faculty on board as hiring committees continue Zooming through their work because our interviews are being done remotely, as is everything else on campus. That is my report.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hennis. And we'll move on to announcements by trustees. And we'll start with Dr. Fellow.
Thank you. Always like to give a shout out to some faculty who've been with us for a long time. And one is Wayman Liu, who's been at PCC for 44 years, instructor of natural sciences. And the other, Paul Wilkerson, instructor of mathematics and computer science. We also want to welcome our new trustee, Tammy Silver, who we talked last night, and I think should be a very fine trustee. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fellow. Next, we will have our newest trustee, Tammy Silver. Any announcements?
I'm just so delighted to be here, be a part of this board. What a time to come on board. We certainly have a lot of interesting puzzles to solve, and I have spoken with each of you personally, which has been delightful, and I think that we're just going to be a great team, and things are going to go as well as they could possibly go with the leadership of Dr. Androgenis and this board.
Thank you, Tammy. Trustee Martin, if you could unmute and give us any announcements that you have, sir.
Well, I don't know if you can tell, but one of the things you do when you have a little extra time because of a COVID crisis is you clean out places you haven't seen for a while in your house. And I've decided to go to the retro look here of my very first Board of Trustees swearing in and picture. So I think I'm going to try to figure out, I've been looking at all the handsome guys that got their picture frozen on our Zoom broadcast, and I've been trying to figure out how can I do that with this one instead of what you've been having to look at instead. But anyway, it says there on the bottom something like expiration date 12/1/83. So that was from my first term that started in 1979, and then it says on the back that this card is the property of Pasadena City College, and it's supposed to be returned at the end of service. So I get to hold on to this for 4 more years. So thank you.
That's awesome.
4 more years to hold on to my card.
Thank you, John. Congratulations, and thank you for your service. And that would be an example of the most dated photo somebody's ever put up instead of their real photo. So yes, you can do that. Use that for your meme. Next, we're going to go to Trustee Brown. Any announcements?
Oh, well, actually, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to serve as your vice president this year. And I must tell you that I am bored stiff at home. I'm so sick. I've stayed home. I miss Conan campus. I miss you guys' faces. I miss our students. I miss just the whole thing. And I'm hoping that this will all be over soon. And stay healthy.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. And yeah, I miss seeing everybody face to face too. And at least we get to see each other on Zoom, but it's not the same. Trustee Waugh, please unmute your speaker and let us know if you have any announcements.
Yeah, so I do want to thank Dr. Androgenis and all of the PCC staff for really how they have really stepped up in this crisis and served our students. So as has been mentioned, on Thursdays, we do hold seminars for the trustees, webinars for the trustees, mainly to keep them abreast of the critical information and issues that are coming up. So it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. But I wanted to thank Dr. Androgenis for webinar 2, where she presented the emergency operations, and then Dr. Olivo for webinar 3, where she talked about the changes in student services. And certainly PCC has really shown that we are keeping ahead of the curve. There's still a lot to do, a lot for all of us to learn, but many of the districts have been very appreciative of the work that has been demonstrated by both, by all of our presenters, but Dr. Androgenis and Dr. Olivo, I want to extend my deep appreciation for your presentations. Tomorrow, we're going to have Dr. Jory Hadsell and Executive Vice President Marty Alvarado from the Chancellor's Office, and they'll be speaking on the distance education, what they have seen have been the impacts, what changes they think will be made, and what has been the impacts to our students. So I also want to thank student trustee Alex Sarkisian, who is now one of the vice presidents under the Student Senate for the state. And he forwarded a number of issues that they're keeping track of, which has been very helpful for our weekly webinars. And trustee Elijah Gerard, who is the student trustee for the state, has a spot on the agenda where he, every week, he will talk about the issues that they are hearing for this from the students' point of view. So I want to encourage all of you to join if you can, and I want to encourage Trustee Sarkisian and AS President Shelton to also join. The student voice is very important to us. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Waugh, and thank you for agreeing to serve again on the executive board in addition to all that you do at the state. And I forgot to also thank Trustee Brown also for serving on the executive board. And it was just said by Trustee Waugh, but I would encourage all the trustees to join the Zoom webinar that's held every Thursday, Linda, at noon. Am I correct?
At noon, right, at noon.
Yeah,
Correct.
and if anybody needs the Zoom link from that, you can get that from Trustee Waugh. And thank you for hosting and leading that conversation. I think you're trying to get Chancellor Oakley to speak at one of the Zoom webinars.
Yeah, actually, the webinars have been so well received across the state. So we have anywhere between 80 and 100 people who have been joining the webinars on a weekly basis. So it's not just the trustees, we also have CEOs. So Chancellor Oakley asked if he could, if we would give him a spot on our webinars. And of course, I think everyone can really benefit from hearing the Chancellor give sort of the state of address and then be able to answer questions from the trustees. So that will be the week after. So it will be webinar 5. We will have Chancellor Oakley scheduled.
Okay. So not tomorrow, but the next Thursday after that.
Right. Tomorrow will be Dr. Jory Hadsel and Executive Vice President Alvarado on distance education.
Okay, thank you again. And student trustee Sarkissian, I did not forget you, sir. Do you have any announcements?
I do, but I wanted to see if Trustee Chen Lao wanted to go ahead before me. If she had anything.
Oh, okay. Trustee Chen Lao?
Thank you.
Any announcements? Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate our fellow trustee Tammy Silver for being serving my neighboring district. I'd also like to congratulate John, Trustee Martin, and of course President Osterling for your reelection. As a parent who is homeschooling right now, I want to say a big thank you to all the faculty members out there, PCC faculty who's doing on distant learning. I really appreciate your efforts, and certainly I've been reading online how some of the students, even though there were some initial challenges, but that the faculty members are seeing this through. So thank you to the teachers out there who are really doing their best to ensure that our students continue their learning. I also wanted just to mention that this is a time of year when students get their acceptance from colleges, and sometimes with all this is going on, sometimes it's hard to remember that this is a time of year that students get to choose which college they're going to. And I want to say that I'm happy to know that one of our La Cañada High School students have announced that his name is Sean, that he's going to be coming to PCC.
Yay!
So
Awesome.
yeah, so I want to say congratulations and thank you for choosing PCC, and we wish you all the best here at PCC. Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. Student trustee Sarkissian, please.
All right, I have a few things. First, I'm sorry I'm not in as fancy of attire as the other trustees today. I just moved literally 3 days ago, and I have no idea where the box of my dress shirts are. So they're somewhere around me, but I'll be nice and fancy for the next meeting. So first off, I just want to kind of reiterate what Dion mentioned, just how thankful I am on behalf of the students for all the hard work our administration has put in. I think the most important thing and just quality they've had is being proactive with all their announcements and of the situation. They're not waiting till the last minute. And I have a lot of other friends at some colleges that their admin is not being as proactive right now. They're not being as realistic. And I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So I've been attending some of the CCLC webinars headed by our in-house celebrity, Trustee Waugh, and just been getting a lot of
Star.
yeah, she is honestly the Meryl Streep of PCC. And she's just, yeah, and I've really enjoyed the webinar, just getting a perspective on everything that's happening, what a lot of other students are thinking, what a lot of other administration is going through right now. I also serve on the student trustee caucus, and we've now had bi-weekly meetings just to talk about this health crisis happening, and everyone, just sharing what they're doing with student morale. As Dion mentioned, we're working with GCC right now. I texted their student trustee and was like, hey, we should do something together since we're so close. So we hope to put out a video super soon, just kind of boosting student morale, giving them tips of things to do while they're stuck inside if they're as bored as Trustee Berlinda right now.
Hey.
So a couple of things we're going to be mentioning is, writing an email out to a professor you've had, maybe currently or in the past, and just thanking them.
Oh, that's nice.
And also some things just about very relatable content of getting all dressed up to go to the kitchen, just like little things. So yeah, so we're really excited to get that out there. And I think our campus is doing a great job of just keeping students informed with our community right now. And I know the Cross Cultural Center recently had a great Spirit Week, and they had different things like Pajama Day, which I know, all of us are doing lately, but different things like Twin Day, things like that. There was great student participation in that area. On my end, I've been having a lot of one-on-one meetings with just different admin on campus. I had a wonderful meeting with Trustee Silver and just told her all about AS. I think I did an info dump on her, but now she'll be super prepped for the road ahead. I also had a meeting with Dr. Bush just to talk about the facilities master plan and getting student input on that, because I am going to have Trustee Tuesdays, whether it kills me. And even if it becomes a singular Trustee Tuesday, it is going to happen. So I've contacted as I mentioned, my ad hoc committee that I had for this event. They're all ready to go. A lot of them are watching tonight. It was really great. Also, I've also been attending or watching the academic senate meetings, and just want to give a shout out to Dr. Hennis and everyone in that group who's working so hard. Our the VP for academic affairs, Urani Reyes. Today's her birthday today, actually. Happy birthday.
Yay, happy birthday.
But she's been sitting in all those meetings. She's doing great work with her committee, and just as Dion mentioned, our AS is just really, not letting this get them down and continuing to work. So yeah, I've just been hearing a lot of student issues and just encouraging them to stay in class, not to drop, talk to a counselor if they need to. And but yeah, I just want to thank again PC for all their work. And I also wanted to mention, when Trustee Chandler was talking about acceptances, I found out last night I got into the CalArts graphic design program. So really exciting.
Awesome.
And I just want to thank, I let Alex Bucklehide and Dr. Levo know last night, and I was like, I feel like I need to legally let you guys know first, but don't tell anyone until the meeting.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
Yeah. So very
awesome,
excited.
Awesome.
I'm more excited to hopefully get a financial aid package from them. But overall, I just want to thank PCC for everything they've been doing. And I'm looking forward to my final 2 meetings.
Wonderful.
We're not looking forward
Trustee. Yeah. Trustee Sarkisian, you've been an outstanding trustee, and congratulations on your college acceptance. Dr. Hennis, I need to find out how you do that clapping over your picture. That was pretty cool. And the offer still stands to join you and the students for a Trustee Tuesday. Just let me know when you would like me to do that. And I know the other trustees have also all volunteered to do that. So we're happy to help you out with that. I don't really have a whole lot more to add, and we've gotten full reports from everybody. But I have watched with amazement, really, since our last meeting, how our superintendent, Androgenis, and her executive staff and the faculty have pivoted very hard. And what I really noticed was, A, the flexibility, but B, nobody knew what we were getting into here. But as the situation changed on a daily basis, or even more frequently, Erica, you were out in front and kept moving as fast as we needed to adjust to the situation, which was changing incredibly fast. And not only were you moving quickly, but also your communications to the trustees, the faculty, the students, the staff, everybody that you and Alex put together was incredible in unprecedented circumstances. So kudos to you, your staff, the faculty, everybody for doing an amazing job. And I think I'm correct in saying that because of your fast action, we don't have any yet known cases of COVID-19 for any of our faculty, staff, or students, which is we just have to thank God for our blessings for that, and thanks for your quick and effective moves to make sure that our students were protected, and then pivoting to make sure they're still getting the education that they require.
Oh, well, thank you.
I missed.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you for having faith in me to do that. And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you didn't know that this was one of the things you'd be stepping into when you took on this responsibility, and we're fortunate to have you as a leader and your entire team that we have with you. To the rest of my trustees, I missed seeing you guys in person, but let's keep getting together by Zoom, and stay safe and stay healthy for everybody in the community. And as much as these staying in place or quarantine orders are incredibly boring, challenging, difficult, let's all do our part for the community by respecting those orders. I know everybody is, and let's try to get through this as quickly as we possibly can. No further comments from myself. Our next agenda item is proposed future business meeting dates.
Items.
Yeah, item number 2. And do we have a calendar yet for our next fiscal year? And if not, we can do that at our next meeting.
You approved it in earlier in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah, item
Okay,
6.
all right.
Item
Oh,
6.
yeah, thank you. Okay, and then, and you're going to circulate thank you, and you're going to circulate some additional dates for board retreats. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Erica. Do we have any, number 3, do we have any proposed future agenda items?
Yes, Trustee.
Trustee Wah.
Yes. So, Dr. Androgenis, I would thank you for giving us the update on the nursing. That's been a big issue in the state also, and getting the registered nursing board to be more flexible on allowing our students to get in. But if you could give, at some point when you feel you have that data, if you can give us an update on where our students are, how quickly are we able to matriculate them through their programs? Those who are in the essential services majors, I think that would be, I would
Okay.
appreciate that.
So any of the health sciences, any of the health services, those kinds of things?
Sure, could be health, yeah, and any of those essential services. So it'd be more than the nurses. I mean, I think we have EMT, we have various medical programs.
All right, sure.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And,
All right.
Trustee Osterling, I
Dr.
believe.
Androgenis, go ahead, please.
I believe Trustee Martin had also expressed an interest in hearing more about distance education, especially as we've transitioned so much to online remote. So we'll also be working on that for a future meeting, if not May, June.
Okay, and I would like to, not a future agenda item, but a future committee. Trustee Martin, I'd like to see you convene a audit and budget meeting and work through with Dr. Bush, the different scenarios that we might be looking at for next year. It's going to be a different and difficult and challenging year, and we don't even know what the revenue assumptions are going to be, but I think we need to look at different potential scenarios there, and if you could convene a audit and budget meeting and do that with Dr. Bush. Superintendent Androgenis.
I just want to point out that because you've just seated a whole new year of trustees as well as elections, you also have to do committee assignments. And
Yes,
so
understood.
it may be that you will reappoint Trustee Martin, but you will need to officially do committee assignments.
Yes, thank you for that reminder, and I will get those out. Yes.
And one that really needs to happen sooner rather than later is the Accreditation and Policy Committee, because we've got board policies that we really would need to get onto the May agenda. So that should be one of the first committees that you identify so we can convene a meeting.
Okay, will do. And thank you for that reminder. Okay, and now we come to everybody's favorite part of the meeting, adjournment. And I thought that we would adjourn tonight in memory of those that have passed from the coronavirus here in Pasadena, in California, in New York City in particular, in the U.S. and throughout the world. And without any further business, this meeting of the Pasadena Area Community College District Board of Trustees is hereby adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay safe and healthy. Bye.